doing today? It is me, JT, and today I'm here with my good friend Gio. Fun videos by Gio. Go check out his channel. He has 360 subscribers. Anyways, welcome to our new podcast where basically every other week or something like that, we are going to talk about wrestling and film.
Two
Two
very
things.
different things.
The only thing that both of them have in common are people.
Well, I mean,
Hi, I will
sometimes
be.
reading it doesn't even have that, It's just like animals
Yeah.
or whatever it is. High fantasy.
Okay. You can see I'm the film one because I have the shirt with a bunch of filmmakers' names on it, and you can see he's the wrestling one because he wears the mask and it has arms. Um, so
So-
um, so go check out Gio's channel. So the title of this podcast is Gio JT under 30 minutes. Let's begin, shall we? Cue that theme music. Gio, Gio, GT, podcast, under 30 minutes. All right,
All
let's begin.
right.
We're going
Oh,
to start. So the format of these will be Gio talks about wrestling. Then I do like a 2 minute thing where basically I talk about what I learned from Gio, and then I talk about filmmaking, and then he does his. So that's basically the episode. And our goal is to try to do this in under 30 minutes. So Gio, when you are ready, I'm going to set the timer.
all right. I am ready.
All right, and begin.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to be talking about the Royal Rumble, my review on it, and the road up to WrestleMania. If you don't know what a Royal Rumble is, it's a 30-man battle where two people start out in the ring and more people come in every few minutes or so. The only way to eliminate your opponent is to throw them over the top rope, and both of their feet must touch the ground. Otherwise, it is not elimination. If they go under the ropes, in the middle of the ropes, or if they go over the top rope but only one foot touches the ground, they are still in. So,
Question:
I'm yes.
Is it? Are there like teams or something, or is this very an individual like sponsor type of thing?
So it is individually based, but there are people who come in and they might have a teammate who also comes in, so they might help each other out. But it's mainly every man for himself. So I'd say there are definitely going to be some weird alliances along with some alliances that seem just about right.
Okay, continue.
But a lot of people were expecting this year's Royal Rumble to be one of the craziest, especially because there was just so much going on with the Vision. There was just so much going on with leading up to WrestleMania with CM Punk and I was gonna say Cody Rhodes, but Drew McIntyre is the current WWE Undisputed Champion. So that being said, oh, and if you don't know what an undisputed champion is, it is the combination of the universal title and the world title, which often gets me confused because, it's the world title and the universal title combined, yet they made a new world championship. Um, I don't know why they do that, but anyways, a lot of people were expecting some big returns, especially names like Chris Jericho. They were expecting him to come back. He's currently signed with AEW, I believe, but nothing too crazy happened. I believe the only surprise entrant was I don't remember his name. I think it's like Roy's Keys or
You
something
can
like
look up
that.
stuff, by the way. You can look up stuff if
Oh,
you need
it's all
to.
right. I'm just gonna keep rolling. But not a lot of big entrances, not a lot of big surprises. I know some fans were expecting John Cena to come back, but I mean, we all know what happened. He retired. He got retired by Gunter. He actually said on a podcast on the CVV Clips podcast, I believe, that he will not be returning to wrestling, not for like one last match, not for a WrestleMania. No matter how big the check comes in, it doesn't matter. So the Royal Rumble was, definitely, I would say, underwhelming.
Well,
At
what check? For who? We can't see him, right? John Cena's a myth. He can't. The only place you can see him is on pictures, and even then, you just see gloves.
Just see gloves. Yes. But which actually leads me to another thing, which is the road to WrestleMania. If you don't know what WrestleMania is, it's basically called the um biggest stage in sports entertainment because it's where almost all, okay, maybe not even almost all, but a lot of the wrestlers get their championship matches opportunity. They get some big rivalries set out. It's just a huge thing. The winner of the 30-man Royal Rumble goes and faces the champion of their choosing at WrestleMania. And so the winner of the men's Royal Rumble is Roman Reigns, and I do believe he will be facing CM Punk for the World Championship. Um, and then the winner of the women's Royal Rumble was Liv Morgan, and it's kind of still deciding, but I think she's either going for Jade Cargill or Stephanie Vaquier. I think she is going for Stephanie as much as, the beef with Jade is going. And they're also at WrestleMania, since, Chris Jericho is signed with AEW, people are saying that he's going to come back at WrestleMania, back to WWE and face Gunter. Along with returns, we have Seth Rollins. A lot of people were saying that they think he was going to return in the Royal Rumble, but he is not medically cleared. He is still injured, but a lot of people are saying that he's going to come back at WrestleMania. I think that's their game plan. Along with one more thing about the Royal Rumble. And JT, am I going over time here? Are we good on time? We're good. All right. Um, so at the Royal Rumble, Braun Breaker was the number two entrant, and we saw a masked man super kick and then I believe curb stomp, which is Seth Rollins' finisher move. Now we have seen the curb stomp performed by another masked man, and that was, thank you, that was at War Games. Which, if you don't know what War Games is, it's basically where two teams compete in a 5-on-5 match, no disqualification. And there, instead of one ring, there are two rings, and it's surrounded by a steel cage. It's freaking awesome. But the last time we saw a masked man hit someone with a curb stomp was at War Games, and that turned out to be Austin Theory. So a lot of people were thinking that this time it was Austin Theory again who actually sabotaged his teammate, but I do not believe that's the case. People were even saying Adam Pearce, who is the general manager of Raw and not a wrestler. But I mean, I guess I can see where they're going with that because Adam Pearce does have some beef with Braun Breaker, but I believe it has been confirmed that it was Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller doesn't have any beef with the Vision or anything like that. He was simply filling in for Seth Rollins. So he was the one who curb stomped him. But if Rollins returns at WrestleMania, Rollins will take credit for being the masked man. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, I think we're good on time. Want me to keep going?
No, I mean, if you don't have anything else to say, we can stop for that. Question: are you pinned to your screen? Are you like recording? So how are you recording? Is your like Google Meet filled with my face?
I pinned both of us, so like you're on one screen
Good,
and I'm on the
good,
other.
good. Because I have you as my thing, and then me right down there. Because I was
Yeah.
worried it's like you're just my facial reaction the whole time, and people have to look at this
No, no.
tiny. Smart man, smart.
Thank you.
Um. So yeah, like there's 3 minutes left. I'm gonna reset the. I'm going to pause the timer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna set a timer for 2 minutes. If I can type. Two? No. Yes, 2 minutes. Starting
Dos
now.
momentos.
All right, let's see how much I memorized. Okay, so the Rumble ring is basically a ring about 30 people. They get in, they and
Yep.
every other couple minutes they switch out. John Cena is not returning this year because he wants to do movies from what I've heard. And then there's another one that's like double rings, and then like people are jumping in and jumping. And it's really cool. And apparently and there are some wrestlers who are people are disputing who's returning or not and are confused, and one of them isn't returning because of medical reasons. And people think that one round was there's a whole conspiracy about one round being cheated over, even though debate, I should say, being cheated over by this other guy, but the motives make sense. All right, that was less. That's all I got.
You were partially right. To be honest, if I were to grade you, I'd probably give you a 50. um,
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to pay attention, but when you're saying all these names, I mean, the only one I got John Cena because I knew who that is, and then someone
yes.
named Liv.
Hmm?
Someone named
Liv?
Liv.
Yeah, Liv Morgan. She is the 2026 Royal Rumble winner. Which brings me to another thing. I do believe that CM Punk and Finn Balor will go to face each other at Elimination Chamber. Um, and so, JT, are you gonna have the comments on for this video?
Should be.
Okay, then I'm gonna say, if you don't mind me saying, comment down below if you're a WWE fan. Comment down below who you think's gonna win at Elimination Chamber, Finn Balor, Seth or CM Punk, and then at WrestleMania, if Punk is still the champion, who do you think's gonna win, Roman Reigns or CM Punk?
This is
That's
so
all for
weird.
me.
Because again, by the way, this is going on my channel, JT's Great Filmmaking Journey. Video for 30 minutes pops up about wrestling.
Yep,
So, oh, I can't. Okay.
I like it
Um,
though. It's
yeah,
a good mix, but it's not
it's
too
good
much, you
mix.
know.
Good mix. Like
And
that was
WWE does have a lot of good filmmaking in it because
Mhm.
for like some entrances, like Sin Cara, for example, he's not currently with the company anymore, but when he was, he would enter the ring, he would jump on a trampoline and enter into the ring, but they would have to get a certain angle so it just looked like he was regularly jumping. And
Oh,
they do that for a lot of different people, not necessarily jumping, but for John Morrison they do like a he does like a cool slow mo entrance, but obviously in real life they can't have he's not actually going slow mo, so they have to play the recorded video in slow mo while the actual John Morrison is still walking down to the ring at a normal pace, and then they have to be careful, not to show the actual, um, if they're supposed to show the slow mo, they have to be careful not to show the actual footage of him walking down the ring at the regular pace at that time.
that makes sense. And I might if I remember later check out some of those because I'm all that stuff. Anyway, I'm about to set my timer. You ready?
I am so ready.
Okay, it's film time. So I'm going to be talking about animation, specifically animation techniques used in early Disney movies, and specifically Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Dumbo, and Bambi. The first four. Do you
I'm
not like
sorry.
those?
Bambi traumatized me when I was younger.
Fair, honestly, fair. By the way, the only reason I'm not talking about Fantasia is that's 2 hours long, and I don't have the time to talk about that.
Is
So
Fantasia
let's
the
talk.
one with like the wizard Mickey Mouse or something?
Yeah, Sorcerer's
Oh my
Apprentice.
gosh, I hated that. That also traumatized me. I'm sorry.
We are watching Fantasia later.
No! Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm presenting my screen. So
Okay.
just all right. So, uh, thank you to this article. Thank you. This article posted 2012. Wow, that was so long ago. This basically article just talks about some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about. And man, I should have looked up photos earlier. Anyway, so hold on. Okay, so there were on Snow and the Seven Dwarfs, there were over 32 animators, 102 assistants, 20 layout artists, 25 watercolor artists, 65 effects artists, 158 paint artists, and this was and by the way, so fun fact, the way Disney used to and sometimes still the way Disney, especially in the early days, would make humans the walk. Say you see how the prince walks, or Snow White, or even Queen, is they would have live action actors. They would film that, and then the animators either would use that as reference footage or rotoscope. Rotoscope is basically where you take that footage and you animate over it. So sometimes it kind of looks weird. It's mainly because elbows are really hard. Human anatomy is really hard to get right in at
Okay.
least 2D animation because 2D animation is very artistic in the sense that because it's hand drawn, it the slightest error can make it look wonky. Now, 3
Right.
doesn't CG doesn't have this problem because CGI is it's all like puppetry basically. It's like stop motion. It's a physical thing that they can program a model to.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Fun fact: CGI and like that kind of stuff, and like CGI models have a lot more in common with like stop motion animation than they do with hand drawn animation. Really cool. Um, they overlap in a lot of like the skill set. Let's see what. Also, so one of the big parts. So fun fact. So when we take a look at these earlier Disney movies, it's usually what you instead of having a person, you different parts of the movie would be animated by different people. So say I was the animator for Donald in this short. I would have
Okay.
only animated like 100 or like tens of thousands of of Donald if it was like a movie or something. I would have only drawn like tens of thousands, or maybe even 1,000 if it was a short.
Yeah, that is a
But
lot.
there, eh, I mean, 100,000 is also a lot. Um,
True.
but they would only draw like keyframes. Say like instead of having it would be like this and then this, and then there were in between artists who, since animated films, hand drawn especially, are 12 frames per second. They would fill in. So the main animator would just draw this and then this. The in betweens would draw da 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 da. So that way the animator doesn't have to draw as many. And you usually would get one animator's artistic because those other animators who would usually be the newer people, they would copy that art, artist work basically and just have it slightly different. So that way you
Interesting.
have that. And then another big part is my personal favorite thing that before we got into caps coloring, um, the multi-plane camera. So there's the guy named Up Iwerks. He loves technology. He animated Mickey Mouse for Steamboat Willie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's really interesting. I mean, he was there in Disney from like basically the beginning.
Right.
Um, but he invented something called the multiplane camera, where basically it. So when I talk about animation, like character animation, the animators would only draw the character themselves moving, not the background, not other characters. They would draw that one character. So layout artists would draw out the backgrounds and then colorers would color the backgrounds and characters. And so that way you could have basically a long sheet of like one area and just
Okay.
move it as and then you could replace the individual animation. Now, how do you get the animation, which is on a paper sheet, onto a clear sheet? By cells. So, not anatomy cells. So basically,
Oh,
there's
okay.
the way hand-drawn animation process works is there's the animator who draws it. Then the in-between artists fill in the animation. This is after the storyboard phase. Then they go to the ink and paint department, which trace over all of that, which were usually women back in these early days, because misogynistic. Um, so they would trace over all the animation lines that then would go to the multiplane camera, which basically, with all the layers, you could put in that thing. It would take a snapshot and put it onto the film strips. That is basically the process of animation, very simplified. Now, of course, like water is very hard to talk about because like they would have to reflect it, but also make it look weird, and that's like a whole nother thing that I could rant about. But like effects animations, take like Pinocchio for example.
Okay.
The underwater, someone had to draw all of the little bubbles. That's basically effects animation, and the water would be effects animation, or like a thunderbolt in any of the movies is effects animation. and
Right.
those are like have mixture with the sound effects, which Disney, especially in these early days, cropped a bunch of sound effects. And if you look closely, especially in the early stuff when Walt was alive, the like lightning and thunder had the same sound. It and until you watch all of them, you don't realize that, and it's very interesting, which I'm doing right now. I unshamelessly plugging that thing. Go check out my Disney review series. Um, yes, Gio.
So when you say they all have the same sound, do you mean like in this film it'd be that sound, and in that film it'd be the same sound, and in that film
I
it'd
mean,
also be the same?
so like at one point they over the years collected just stock sound that they kept reusing. So
Interesting.
that thunder sound effect was a very like
Yeah.
bang bang type of thing,
Right.
and it very similar between film to film. Like there's a thunderbolt in Snow White, and there's a thunderbolt in Bambi. It is pretty similar because I watched them recently. It is like now they could be too different. I could be wrong, but from my understanding, they are the same sound effect.
Got it.
But yeah, on it, I honestly like, yeah. I'm gonna stop presenting because that was basically pointless. That was pointless. But hey, I got that thing. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay. So
We didn't
real
even
quick,
talk for 10 minutes about it. You had like 3 extra minutes. I had like two.
real quick before we carry on, I just want to say something that it says like my name at the bottom, Lego Videos by Ray J. That is my brother's channel. If you want to check that out, we just share the same account. Also for Fun Videos by Gio, one word.
One word. Don't space the words. Trust me, don't do that. You will get something else.
No,
One
and it's
word.
and the Geo is not GEO, it's GIO.
Yes.
All right. But enough about me. I didn't mean to steal a spotlight there or anything.
No, 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 you're fine. You're fine. All right, you want ready to recap?
Yes, I'm ready to
All right.
recap.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Disney animation or just animation in general was really really hard. So eventually some dude, I don't remember his name, but some dude made like he made like the camera thing so we could see the layers of the animation, and so it would be easier for them. They could also draw. They would use people as either references or they would do rotoscoping, just for them to be easier. I know there was definitely a lot of people working on it. There was different people doing different things. One person was coloring, one person was drawing. There's just this whole thing. Let's see here. Oh, they use a lot of the same effects, sound effects, not just in the same movie or show or short film or whatever it is. Like you were saying, like they would use a thunder or lightning effect. They would use that one repeatedly, like in Bambi. Let's see here. What else can I think of? I believe Snow White was the first animated film of Disney. Yeah, and I think that's all I can pull
Yes, it
out of
was
my
the
hat.
first. No, okay. It was the first Walt Disney. It was the first feature length, 17 minutes. I'm actually looking up photos of the multiplane camera. Hold on, if I can I like zoom in? Oh, geez, I can't even zoom in. So,
Which one? Let me look it up.
this is the multiplane camera. I am so sorry, I can't even zoom in. So
Oh, okay,
basically, here's how
it's
it
all right.
works. So the bottom layer, right? The bottom layer is this little thing right here. So is this is the backest of the layer.
Okay.
Then this is the second layer where usually you would have
Oh,
that's
okay.
the multiplane camera. That's now obviously this is without like characters. Like there would probably
Right,
be
right.
like a layer where you put the character. But this is so you could don't have to draw all this stuff over again. You can just get that one drawing and reuse the background wise. You can just move it over.
Wasn't there
Saved a
also
lot of
like
money, man.
a thing where they could like because of that they could like zoom like look like it was zooming
Yes,
in and out?
yes, yes. So you could get really cool dynamic, especially like if we ever continue this, please.
Please.
If we get to Peter Pan, there are some really cool stuff they do with it that that make it look like 3D. There's some really cool stuff they do with animation wise. Like it makes like it really is used for like dynamic shooting. Like
Yeah.
if you want cinematic shots, it really does well for animation. But yeah, I mean that I think
Yeah.
that's all we have. Like, do you
Wow.
want to do an outro?
Sure. Do you want me to like sing it like the theme song or just
No, no, we're just doing outro. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the first episode of the JT and Gio under 30 minutes. Was this under 30 minutes? Let's
Okay.
hope so.
Um
Anyways, see you guys next time. JT out.
bye.